Hey, what's up, guys? Let me know how the volume sounds right now, and I'll adjust from there before we actually get started. Live streams are a little bit different than videos when it comes to audio. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay between me talking and the chat, obviously. Sound good, though? We good to go? Okay, solid. As long as the music's not too loud and you guys can hear me, we'll get started. All right. Okay, so we are going to be going through this contest, and I'm going to let you guys know, like, kind of who is my favorite character, and I'm going to be asking you guys kind of at the end. I'll put up a poll, and I'll basically have you guys vote. I'll probably have to do a couple different polls, and, like, we'll narrow it down at the end, like, to top 3, top 2, top 1, you know, so on and so forth. So I think that's the way we'll do it, because there are, I think, like 8, maybe 9, 10. I didn't actually count how many there are, guys. So we're just gonna kind of go for it. I didn't want to look at any of these beforehand. That's why I didn't count any of them either. I have not read a single one of these, just so everybody knows. All right, everyone ready? Let's go ahead and do this. If you guys have any questions in the chat, I'll try to look back and forth between the chat and between reading this here, reading the kits. And if you guys want to weigh in on the kits, let me know what you like about certain kits, what you don't like, what you would change, things like that. We got a lot of the creators here for the kits as well, so give them feedback, you know, let them know what you like, what you don't like. And then, like I said, at the end, we'll do a poll and we'll vote. All right, so first off, we have Duckage. And if I'm saying the name wrong, I apologize for any of these names. He made these are all going to be Lady Nagant. A UR Destruction type Spectral Sniper Lady Nagant. The Plus Ultra is called Firework Spreadsheet. It deals 550% damage to all opponents. Increases character's critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. Okay. Also increases character's skill impact by 35% for 3 turns. All right, that's honestly not too overpowered yet. In my opinion, that's fine. This skill lands a bullseye. It's too small. It's like I'm whispering. What's everyone else think? And then this character gains piercing shot when under 75% of their max health. I'll double check before I go any further. Can everyone hear me all right? I think I got a mostly yays. That's 1 nay. Okay. Maybe if you got, yeah, if you're having trouble hearing me, do you have the volume all the way up, stuff like that? Okay. There's only a few people, I think I've seen 2 people say they can't hear me, but all right. I can turn the music down as well if that's the problem. We'll turn that down just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna continue. I'll try to just, I guess I'll speak louder into the microphone and hope that solves the problem. You guys can hear me a little bit better. Try to face towards the microphone a little bit better. All right, so for the Plus Ultra, going back to the Plus Ultra, Firework Spreadsheet. This skill lands a bullseye. This character gains piercing shot when under 75% of their max health. Okay, so gaining piercing shot when under 75% is kind of it's strong, right? But obviously we have Sue in the game who just has piercing shot on everything, so not broken anymore. That's totally fair. But in the past, before Sue came out, I would say that was, you know, going to be broken, but Sue's just crazy. So piercing shot under 75%, I guess, is fair. And then having bullseye on top of that, though, that makes it a little unfair to have both things. But you know what, this is going to make this character, you know, very good for PvP just based on the Plus Ultra. It'll be interesting to see what the action skills do, though. I am not going to put a link in the main Discord, Ale. If anyone else wants to put the link there, they get mad about propaganda and stuff like that, and they'll be like, yeah, don't post your links. So, I mean, yeah, that's why I'm not going to do it. Action skill 1 for Duckage. Everlasting Barrage deals 125% damage to all opponents, increased by 25% for each turn since the last time the ability was used. Okay. 25% each. Okay. You know what? That'd be cool to see a scaling effect like that in the game. We don't see too many scaling effects like that. I don't know if we have really anything like that that increases like by a percentage like that. That's a cool idea. That is actually a cool idea. Low chance, 10% of causing all opponents to bleed for 1 turn. Okay. Low chance of causing them to bleed for 1 turn. Why just 1 turn? Oh, okay. But then we get, okay. Continuing. Plus 1 turn for every 3 turns passed since the last use. That's kind of weird. So it's almost like you don't want to use this ability in order to make it do more damage, in order to make the bleed last longer. That's interesting. That's really different. Okay. This chance is increased by 7% for each turn since the last use. Ooh, that's good too. And then this character gains the ability to evade 1 time every 3rd use. What is this action skill, man? Okay, the evasion too is pretty... Alright. This action skill has no cooldown. That is... I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that because... like, that would be really... Okay, moving the mindset from PvP to VE Tower. Imagine an action skill with no cooldown. How ridiculous would this character be for VE Tower? You don't even need technicals or status elements. I mean, the way you built her, she has a status element, but like, this would be nuts, right? Am I wrong, guys? Like, it's absolutely insane in my opinion. And if I ever stop talking for a second, just because I'm looking over at the chat, reading what you guys say in between going through these action skills. Action skill number 2, this is for Duckage once again, is Shatter Shot. Deals 400% damage to target enemy. This character gains the ability to evade 1 time, so a bunch of evasion going on for Lady Nagant, which is kind of fair considering if you're basing it off the anime and trying to keep it kind of canon. This attack becomes a bullseye, totally fair for a sniper. This attack gains piercing shot when character is under 70% of their max health. The one thing I don't like, if we're going based on, canon, get is the 70% of max health, because as a sniper, you don't want to take any hits. You take that 1 hit, you're done, which is pretty much what happened to her in the anime. Took the 1 hit and she was done. And so I think it should be the other way around almost. When character is above 70% max health, then they have piercing shot. If they drop below a certain amount, then they should lose it. Maybe not 70%, because that would be, she would lose it really quickly. But I think it should be the reversed, just based on the anime and the character herself. But what do you guys think? I'm doing good, Kaz. Thanks for asking. This ability has a medium chance, 40%, to inflict target acquired on target opponent for 2 turns. Ooh, target acquired. Okay, so you've added in a special, basically status element is what we're going to call this. I don't know what else you would call it. Target acquired. Every other attack against this opponent scores a critical hit. Like guaranteed, okay? Does that mean the attacks in between every other attack can still land crits? I assume that means yes. And this is basically just saying every other attack is a guaranteed crit. Hopefully that's what that means. All attacks against this opponent score a bullseye. If character is defeated while still having the effect, the character who dealt the finishing blow gains honor. Okay, we've added in, what would you call this? Enemy buff? Weird. Blow gains honor until the end of the battle, which cannot be removed. That buffing your enemies if your character dies. So you're making this a very risky character to play, like high risk but high reward. Interesting, because 40% defense and 30% speed, that's pretty good for the enemy to get from your character dying. So like everyone's just going to target Nagant, but if you have a way to like give her evasion like you have here, or a way to keep her alive, then I guess it's not so bad. But that would be very, very interesting to see. Okay, cool. Auto skill 1, safety measures. When this character is defeated, deal 300% damage to all enemies. Burn them for 4 turns, and then burn them in Hellfire the next turn. Why is Nagant burning? When the character is defeated, I gotta read this again, deals 300% damage to all enemies. So they just take 300% damage of what? 300% damage of just her base stats, like multiplied, or how does that work exactly? I'm a little confused on that. Burn them for 4 turns. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Why? But why? Like, what's your reasoning here? Other than just to give her something, you know, cool on death. But and then burn them in Hellfire for the next turn. So they just automatically get burnt in Hellfire when the next turn starts, and they take all that burn damage, the 4 turns worth of burn damage in 1 turn. And let's say it hits a crit, you just kill the whole enemy team when she dies. That would be a little bit crazy. That would be a little bit nuts. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I'm reading that right. I don't know if I'm interpreting that right, but yeah. Okay, so common folk thinking fire from any type of bullet. Okay, I guess she could. Yeah, she could make a fire bullet. I guess that's fine. She explodes when she dies. Yeah, but couldn't we add in like a new effect, like explosion damage or something instead of, you know, fire? But that makes sense, I guess. The fire makes sense in those terms. So you're really you've chosen this version of Nagant. Now I look at the picture. Now I get it. You were just going for a suicidal Nagant. All right, that's you know, let's read the last auto skill. All right, I'm enjoying this kit a lot. It's just so funny now that I get it. As I read through it, I'm getting it more, and it's all right. They need to add a character like this into the game. That's so funny. All right, auto skill 2, hired gun. This character has a plus 30% power. This character gains the ability to evade 1 time every 3 turns, so there's more evasion. That's good. Give her survivability, especially if everyone's going to be targeting her to kill her because they get that buff of honor. When a wave starts, this character hides for 2 turns. Ooh! And gains the ability to use 2 normal attacks for 3 turns. That's actually not bad. She only has the ability to hide once in the battle for the first 2 turns. I think that's fair. I honestly think that's fair because that at least gives her 2 turns to build up her passive for her first action skill up here. So that makes sense to me. I think that's honestly, nothing in here stuck out as super overpowered to me. And I think it's fairly balanced. And I think it's really weird that you almost want this character to die just to wipe the whole enemy team. Because once this character dies, that you might wipe the enemy team with a Hellfire if it hits a crit, which would be different. Different to say the least. That might be the most overpowered part, but yeah, interesting to say the least. Let me know what you guys are all thinking though. All right, we're gonna move on to the next kit. I'll kind of jump back here. The stream once again is a little bit delayed, so your comments on the stream, I'm looking over at them, but they come through after I've already said a couple of things. So gonna be moving forward. I'll hop back if we need to hop back. If anyone has any last thoughts about this Lady Nagant here. Once again, that was Duckage and the Spectral Sniper Lady Nagant DST type. On to our second person. We have Infinite 2.0, and Infinite is well known in the Discord for making many kits. Far too many kits. Needs to make less kits. Just does too many. So let's see what Infinite has come up with. We have a ABL, a lovely assassin, Lady Nagant. All right. What type is she supposed to be? The first one was DST. This one is ABL. Yeah, the first kit was kind of like Tapion. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Moving on with Infinite. We have his Plus Ultra for lovely assassin Lady Nagant. The Plus Ultra move is called Sharpest Shot, Best Shot. Okay? And then deals 750% damage to a single opponent Increases character's power and critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. Okay, so another crit rate up, but this time we got power instead of skill impact. Before it was skill impact, I'm pretty sure, on the previous kit. Increases character's speed and critical hit impact. Okay, so here's the impact part, by 20% for 3 turns. So you're not only increasing power and crit rate, you're taking that extra power increase and then also adding extra critical hit impact onto that, which is kind of, it's going to be strong. It's going to be strong. Plus you're doing 20% speed on top of that, but it does take you getting to the 3rd turn to the plus ultra turn to be able to do this. So balance so far, but let's see what the rest of the plus ultra move says. Decreases a single opponent's defense by 20% for 3 turns. That's fine. There's just so much happening on this plus ultra. I'm worried that it's going to be too much, but we'll see. Gains bullseye if an opponent is bleeding, so I assume we're going to make them bleed somewhere along the way. And then gains piercing shot if opponent is stunned. I assume we might make them stun somewhere along the way, but if she doesn't make them stunned or doesn't make them bleed and she relies on other characters in the team to get those buffs, that's actually not too overpowered. But if she does both of those things, those status elements plus the defense down is the thing that really gets me. Might be a bit much. In addition to increasing your power and your critical hit impact, she's just going to hit like a truck with this plus ultra, and then every turn thereafter, because you're doing it for 3 turns, she's just going to hit like a truck with piercing shot and just be a freight train that's unstoppable. So it might be a little too much, just saying. But we'll see how the rest of the kit goes. If she's not stunning the enemy herself, if she's not causing the bleeding herself, then she might not be too overpowered if she relies on teammates for those things. I agree with you, Common Folk. She should be pretty strong. I would love for, I think she's honestly, if not for this right here, eventually when she does come out, I think she's going to be a climax battle character. That would be my guess. That's my hope, at least. I would really love a climax battle Lady Nagant as opposed to a summonable one, but that's my opinion. I think she'd be fun to go against. I think she would be good in speed operation because she does have the airwalk, like you said. I think whatever Nagant does eventually come out, even just with these kits, a lot of them are focusing on speed too. I do think she's going to have speed, which is why these creators of these kits have added in the speed buffs and stuff like that. And then the crit buffs and the piercing buffs make sense as well, like based on everything that we know about her. Okay, moving on. We have the first action skill, Sniper Target. It deals 350% damage to a single opponent, increases character's critical hit rate and critical hit impact. So there's more critical hit impact. Imagine you use this plus ultra, then you use this action skill afterwards. So you're getting 20% crit impact here, plus 20% here. That is 40% crit impact. So if you hit a critical hit, the enemy's just dead. Okay, so this... We'll continue, but yeah, it might be a little bit insane, and it's for 3 turns, so that's it's a good duration of turns. Increases character's max HP and speed again by 15% for 4 turns. So we have a 15% speed increase for 4 turns. We have a 20% speed increase up here for 3 turns. Those presumably would stack, right? That's a 35% speed buff on this character. So lots of speed. I don't know. It's looking a little overpowered to me at this point, guys, but let me know what you all think in the comments. I'm curious to know. Do you guys think this is fair, or do you think this is a little overpowered? I'll keep reading while you guys let me know, and then I'll look over there and see what you guys think. But I'm thinking it's a little overpowered. This skill ignores hide if executed successfully in a skill chain. That sounds great. This right here is going to be perfect for getting rid of Sue. Sue did just come into meta in PvP, but in terms of PvP, this would be good for getting rid of Sue so you can kill her, right? And then this skill gains bullseye if executed successfully on a 3rd skill chain. Sorry, I read that wrong. Executed successfully on a 3rd skill chain, bullseye. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So I'm fine with these 2 parts. These 2 parts are fine. It's where you're buffing the critical hit impact so much that gets me a little bit nervous. High chance of inflicting bleeding on an opponent for 3 turns. She also has, so she does cause the bleed, and then if the opponent's bleeding, you gain a bullseye on the plus ultra. Bullseye isn't as ridiculous. Piercing shot is the ridiculous one, so hopefully we'll see how the stun goes, but I'll give it to you for now. I'll give it to you for now. All right, so looking over here, all Nagant kits are horrible. It's all OP and it makes no sense. Okay, well, I disagree. I think there is a lot of thought and effort put into these, and I really do enjoy reading these kits. They're interesting. I really do think they're good, guys. It's fine. With anything, there's always going to be people who get upset, and that's totally fine. That's everyone's opinion. So we'll keep going, but so far I am enjoying the kits. Let me know though. I do think I think this kit personally is a little bit overpowered, but that doesn't mean it's any less good. And you just change some of the percentages, change this 20% for critical skill impact, critical hit impact down to like maybe 10%, and all of a sudden it's balanced, you know? Just having 40% critical hit impact is a little bit insane, you know, because that's going to make you hit really, really hard. So 30% is better than 40%. So you can balance a lot of these things out simply by just changing the percentages a little bit. But really good kit so far. A little bit overpowered though because of the percentages. We're going to continue with action skill 2, which is You're Not Getting Out of My Sight. And before I read it, let me look over here real quick. Thanks, Kaz. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully you can all hear me. I apologize if at any point you can't. Okay. All right, so action skill 2, here we go. Deals 300% damage to all opponents, increases character's power by 15%, and speed by 20% for 3 turns. So more power increase and more speed. You're going a bit crazy, my guy, with the speed and power. If you're going to give so much with your plus ultra, so much with your other action skills, you need to lower the percentages a little bit, because otherwise at this point, let's say for at least one turn, you're going to stack all 3 of these, right? For the speed. So that's 20% speed here. You're getting, what is it? 20% speed up here as well. And then 15% speed here. So that's 40, 55% speed buff. Actually, that's not 55% speed. Yeah, that's still more than I would say Fantasy Ida, right? So that might be a little bit overpowered. Just a little bit on the speed at least. Same thing with the power here, but because as you're increasing power, what power does is it increases your base stats. You're increasing the power on this action skill. You're also increasing your power by 25% up here. So you increase your base stat numbers, and then on top of that, you're increasing your critical hit impact by 20%. So yeah, you're just going to hit way too hard with your power and your critical hit impact increased. If you ever land a crit, the enemy's just dead, right? It's kind of what a sniper does, but we can't make a sniper who just one-shots everybody. So the game has to be balanced in some regard, unless you've given her like a massive weakness down below in the auto skills. Then she can be the glass cannon that we all want her to be, right? But that just depends. All right, so decreases all opponents' speed and critical hit rate by 20% for 4 turns. It gets even more ridiculous. That's if you're increasing your own speed and critical hit rate, you don't need to take theirs away too. You are a madman. You are just, oh, you're so mean. Okay, well, that's too much. This skill ignores hide if the opponent's speed is lower than the character's. I do like that. I do like that. Character gains double normal attack for 4 turns if executed successfully in a skill chain. Make this a 3rd successfully executed skill chain and I'll give it to you, because 4 turns is a lot of turns to have additional attacks. Medium chance of stunning a single opponent for 2 turns. Medium chance of stunning an opponent for 2 turns. So you would have to use this action skill, in other words, right before you use your plus ultra. So that kind of limits you on when you can use it. So you almost have to use these in the exact order they're given. Action skill 1, then action skill 2, then your plus ultra. You can't pick and choose and switch between them. So it's kind of a decent stipulation. But still, I don't know. Looks a little bit overpowered to me. But a lot of that, like I said, can just be changed with changing a few percentages. Overall, it's a really good kit. Really well designed, though. First auto skill is granted power from All For One, Airwalk. We have increases character speed and skill impact by 20%, increases character's max HP by 20% for 5 turns, increases character speed by 10% every 4 turns up to 3 times, character gains dodge 1 time when battle starts, character gains dodge 2 times when HP is below 50% every 2 turns up to 3 times. Okay, I like that. I actually do like that. That's evasion isn't as much like broken of a skill as people really think it is, and every 2 turns you're gaining 1 evasion up to 3 times. That's really not too overpowered. This auto skill is not bad. The problem once again is just this. Increases character speed and skill impact by 20%. That's just another increase, and that's permanent. That's a permanent increase from the auto skill. A little bit crazy. The increase in max HP at least has a turn limit on it by 20%, which is fine. And then she loses some of her max HP. Like, that's perfectly okay. And then, but here's the other crazy part: increases character speed by 10% every 4 turns up to 3 times. This will be the fastest character in the game if Infinite has anything to say about it. And looking like a little bit of a simp for Lady Nagant, not gonna lie to you, but it's okay. Who doesn't? But that is yeah, a little bit overpowered. And before I read this next one, let me go back over to the let me see what people are saying. People are talking about 4 turns. Yeah, too much speed. Too much speed. I agree, Mast. A little bit too much. Yeah, I would have. Okay, yeah, I got you. So, I'm gonna try to say your name, Kian. I might be saying it wrong, but you would have limited the speed and the skill impact on the first auto skill, but you didn't have space due to lack of nitro on Discord. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man. All right, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue with the last auto skill for Mommy Nagant. Yes, Mommy Nagant. Shades of Grey. Jesus, you even named. Hold on, like, I know they obviously talk about, Deku talks about, you know, living in the gray of the hero, but when I read this, guys, you gotta. Anyone else thinking what I'm thinking when you read Shades of Grey? Anyone else thinking what I'm thinking? There's no way that wasn't intended. There's no way that wasn't intended. Ay. Okay. I'm gonna read this. I've obsessed about that enough. Increases character's power and action skill impact by 20%. Another power and action skill impact increase? Dude. It's enough. Trust me. Decreases a hero opponent's defense and critical hit rate by 20%. You have to take away their defense too? People are just getting gatted by Nagant. Oh my gosh. This is the most... If you wanted to create the most broken kit, congratulations. You might have done it. We'll see when we see the other people's, but this might be it. Increases characters plus ultra skill impact by 25%. Oh, great. Another skill impact increase. Insane. And gains resilience for 5 turns, so more damage, right? The more health she has, that's what resilience does. When HP is below 50%. Wait. Or is it more... I think I might have said it backwards. It's more damage the lower your health is. Sorry. So, yeah. More damage. And then shortens action skill cooldown time by 1 after 6 turns. So the 4-turn cooldown becomes... Or 5-turn cooldown becomes a 4-turn cooldown. Okay. That's not terrible. All right. And then there's our picture for the version of Nagant that he based this kit off of. Just yep, it's OP in my opinion. I think we're all of the same mindset that this is a little bit broken and a little bit insane. So I'm gonna move forward here, but just remember, when we get to voting, it's not about whose kit was the most balanced. It is literally about whose kit you like the most. So keep that in mind. All right, now we have Kaido. We have the UR-Int, the Walking Sniper, Lady Nagant. All right, I don't know what CB means. Anyone want to fill me in on CB? I'm a little bit... If anyone knows what CB means, let me know. All right, so plus ultra. It's called Airwalk Sniper Shot, and it deals 550% damage to a single opponent if the opponent has Fajin to 10 or higher. Am I reading this right? Did I read this right? Did I read that right? Okay, so it's Climax Battle Lady Nagant. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thanks, guys. That makes a lot of sense. Did I read this right though? Somebody explain this to me before I go any further. Oh, if the opponent... Oh, I did not read that right. I didn't... I'm sitting here asking you guys to explain it. Okay. I said deals 550% damage to a single opponent if the opponent has Fajin to 10 or higher. I was thinking... I was literally thinking that it was saying Nagant had Fajin. I thought it was saying Nagant had Fajin. But this is saying if the opponent has Fajin. So, in other words, there's only one character in the game with Fajin. I think we all know who it is. But if the opponent has Fajin to 10 or higher, then she's going to increase her critical hit rate by 20% for 4 turns. Okay. That's fine. I think just if the opponent has Fajin in general, increase the critical hit rate. That's not going to be too overpowered. That's fine. Increase your crit rate. That's cool. If the opponent has Fajin to 15 or higher, increases character's attack by 40% for 4 turns. Okay, that's fine. You have made a kit specifically targeted towards Vigilante Deku. Now, here's the thing. Vigilante Deku, obviously not the best character in the game, but if you're making this for a climax battle character where people are going to want to use Vigilante Deku against her, this isn't bad. If the opponent has Fajin 25 or higher, decreases opponent's Fajin by 5 for 2 turns and increases critical hit rate by 30% for 5 turns. Okay, so basically the stronger Deku gets, the stronger Nagant gets and counters him. Shortens character action skill cooldown time by 1. This is weird. This is a very different kit. Yeah, I was thinking Nagant stole Deku's quirk at first too, but just read it wrong. But so she just straight up counters Vigilante Deku, which I don't know if he needs that direct counter. It's cool to see a kit like this, but realistically in the game, I don't think we'll ever see anything like this because you don't need specific counters. Right now, I think they're starting to get into like type counters where they say like this character does more damage against an ABL type character, this damage does more, or a character does more damage against a green type character, so on and so forth, because I think they're going to introduce some sort of content in the game where you have to build like mono teams. Like that's how pretty much every gacha game in the past has worked, right? They introduce mono teams and they introduce categories, so on and so forth, where you have to build specific teams. So we'll see stuff like that, but I don't think you'll see like one character specifically targeting another character in the game like this. But let me know what you guys think. All right, action skill 1 is called the Fallen Hero. Increases character's critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. Okay, that's fine. I have no problem with crit rate increase as long as you're not increasing the critical skill impact like somebody, which is a little bit insane. And then increases character's attack by 30% for 4 turns. Decreases the opponent's Fajin by 3 for 1 turn up to 3 times. That's fine. Vigilante Deku is just shut down completely. Every time opponent gains Fajin, increases character's defense by 20% for 2 turns. Now, here's the problem we run into, right? All of this right here is about Fajin. So the only thing that happens with this action skill, if Vigilante Deku is not the opponent, is this part right here. Increases character's critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. That's not gonna... That's limiting her use a little too much. And nobody wants a character. Nobody's going to want to pull on a character like this that's just basically useless in every other form of content except for against Vigilante Deku. Just my opinion, though. Next, we have Action 2, a rifle. It deals 350% damage to a single opponent. Increases character's critical hit rate by 15% for 3 turns, so more critical hit rate increase. Medium chance, 35% of inflicting bleed on the opponent for 3 turns. Okay, this one at least does something outside of increase your crit. 2 other characters that don't have Fajin. But now we get into the Fajin stuff. If the opponent has Fajin, inflict bleed to the Fajin opponent for 4 turns. Okay, so you get an extra turn. If the opponent has Fajin 10 or higher, increases character's attack by 15% for 4 turns. Okay, increasing attack. your kit is kind of gutted. I'm not going to lie to you. So add more to this and maybe make it a little bit better. Since it is targeting one specific character, make it as OP as you can get, right? So I would add in skill impact. I'd add in power, increase skill impact, power, and attack, I don't know, something else, speed by 15% for 4 turns, and then that would be fine, because attack right here is the same as power when you say attack. And cooldown time of 6. 6 is like such a long cooldown. You have really long cooldowns. I know you shorten them by 1, so it's really a 4 and a 5 turn cooldown, but still, that's pretty long for a character that's only going to be good in one specific type of, scenario. So you have really held back on your kit. You're like the exact opposite. The exact opposite of Infinite. That's what you are. Kaido, you have made the exact opposite. So good contrast there, one right after another. The first auto skill is called Former Pro Hero. When character's HP is below 50%, increases character's defense by 25% for 4 turns. I like increasing defense when when her health gets lower. That's good. It makes sense. So it's basically like you could have done one of two things. You could have given her evasion when her health drops, which the other two did, or you could have given her defense. So that's fine. For every 3 turns, character's action skill and plus ultra gain bullseye and piercing shots. Ooh, that makes her a lot better. That one thing is your saving grace. Honestly, that is a saving grace. So now she's actually good for multiple forms of content because it doesn't require Fajin. Okay, so that saves her. That does save her a little bit, in my opinion. Last auto skill, Airwalks, applies evasion for 2 turns. Oh, you've also given her evasion. Okay. Everyone has evasion. Applies evasion for 2 turns at the start of battle. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 30% for 2 turns. That means each turn it's going to increase by 30%, or over the duration of 2 turns it's going to increase by 30% total. Not sure with the way that's worded. Every time opponent gains 5 Fajin, shorten character's action skill cooldown time by 1 up to 2 times once. That doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. It says every time, and then it says once. Every time, once. Something doesn't add up here. Doesn't compute. Every time opponent gains 5 Fajin, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 up to 2 times once. I think he just meant up to 2 times. Get rid of the once, and then that computes in my small pea brain. Once in a while, I read things and I just have to read them again because my brain can't make sense of them. So yeah. What is Bullseye and what is Piercing Shot? Bullseye is like if you've ever gone against Fantasy Ida, anytime a character has evasion, your move is guaranteed to land or hit. And then Piercing Shot is like if a character has a barrier or increased defense, like for example Fantasy Kirishima, your move is guaranteed to do its normal amount of damage. Basically, the defense does not matter. So that's what Bullseye and Piercing Shot do for Kareem, who asked. And then we got the picture here, a former hero employed by the Safety Commission. You move Lady Nagant, of course. All right, and now we're up to Elaine. I have no idea how many of these are left, guys. Just gonna keep going. I'll let you know when we get to the end. Might have 5 more, might have 2 more. It looks like we got a base, we're almost halfway. I think we're about halfway. That's about where we're at. So we have DST, you are Morally Conflicted Lady Nagant. And the plus ultra move is called Unparalleled Marksmanship. And I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker. Just because, we don't want this. People probably got to go to bed. People have lives outside of the stream. And so if I missed your comment, I apologize. I'll still try to look over and get your comments and stuff, but I'm going to try to read through these a little bit quicker and give you guys my opinions. So the plus ultra move is called Unparalleled Marksmanship. It deals 700% damage to a single opponent. High chance of stunning the opponent for 2 turns, which is fine. Okay. This skill gains Piercing Shot if character's speed is increased. Good. Shortens action skill cooldown time of all allies by 1. Ooh, we got a support type Lady Nagant so far, or at least with the action skill. Always love a character, though, that shortens the action skill cooldown time of all allies. First one we've seen, so I like that. Action skill 1, Epoxy Shot. Deals 425% damage to a single opponent and deals identical damage to 1 more opponent at random if there is only 1 opponent. Doubles the power of this move. That's kind of cool. We don't have anything in the game like that. We literally don't have, we have attack alls and we have single target attacks. We don't have like a 2-target attack. So this is a cool way to do a 2-target attack, and it's like a random chance of who it hits. Honestly, what it reminds me of, kind of, it's not exactly the same thing, but in Grand Cross you have the new Escanor, right? When he attacks, he does the extra damage to the side units, even though he's not attacking them. It's kind of like that. It seems kind of like that to me, so that's kind of cool. We do need something like that in Ultra Impact, honestly. Medium chance of stunning the opponent for 2 turns. Skill impact is increased relative to character speed. So once again, a reference to speed. The more speed she has, the better she's going to do. Makes perfect sense, and everyone pretty much for the most part has had something about speed. So good to know everyone's pretty much on the same page. So in other words, what I'm understanding is we're all going to be very disappointed. Very disappointed when Lady Nagant actually comes out in game and she doesn't have good speed. That's going to be rough. Hello, Rust. Please stop spamming, but yes. Hi. All right, continuing on to the second action skill. We have Airwalk. Gives character the ability to evade twice and increases plus ultra gauge by 40%. I think this is the first action skill that actually referenced fully Airwalk. So if I'm remembering right. So you are the first person to do that. Good job. Gives character the ability to evade twice and increases plus ultra gauge by 40%. Love that. If the character's speed is increased, also increases character's power by 25% for 3 turns. Love that as well. I hope she increases her speed with her auto skills, because you have all this speed increase stuff that, like, you know, makes her better. But so far you have nothing increasing her speed. Good cooldown times. Cooldown times of 4. Sometimes I gloss over those, but those are good cooldowns. The first auto skill is called Corrupted Dream Hero Society. It increases character speed, there it is, by 30% for 2 turns when the battle starts. That's only 2 turns, okay, but it continues. And further increases speed by 30% for 3 turns every 3 turns. Okay, you know what? That's not bad. So, but the way you have this worded right now is she'll get that 30% speed for the first 2 turns. Then after that, it goes away. Then on the 3rd turn, she gets another 30%, but then that starts to stack starting on the 3rd turn. Just based on the way I'm reading it, which is fine. That's not too overpowered. If character's power is increased, gives character piercing shot. So all of her moves can have piercing shot if she has increased power, and it's really easy to increase the character's power. So yeah, that makes her a little bit more broken, but you haven't done a crap ton of skill impact, critical skill impact increased her power up like somebody above did. So honestly, not too bad. Second auto skill, Transparent Nightmare. If the character's speed is increased, gives bullseye per each crit. So if you land a crit, you get a bullseye for the next attack, I'm assuming is what that means. And then makes character explode when knocked out. Okay, and then we do have an explosion thing here, which is like explosion deals 300% damage to all opponents. Skill impact is relative to turns past and lowers the opponent's defense by 30% for 3 turns. You guys just want to, you don't even care. You don't even care about my girl here. You just want to see her die. You want a character that is suicidal, don't you? This is another kit that is, wow. Wow. You know what? I'm kind of behind it though. It's kind of cool. I like the idea. Honestly, if I were to go and make a kit like this, I probably wouldn't have thought. I'm not nearly as creative as you guys. I would have never thought to just, you know, let's wipe out a whole team with her death. But then we do have the moving picture here. So, yeah. Looks good. Now we move on to Masked. And I'll go through and give you guys all the names again before we get to the voting here at the end. So if you forget anyone's name, hopefully like the picture that goes with it will kind of remind you of who did what. We have a UR, a singular bullet, Lady Nagant, and it's a strength type character. And this is for a level 130 character with full stats. We got HP 49,754. That's actually not a ton of HP, which is fine. She doesn't need to be like the highest HP character in the game. 13,156, decent power. And then, but speed though, here's that speed is fairly decent. And then that's base speed right there. So if you're increasing that by a percentage, she will, I'm guessing you have made a speed Nagant. Without even reading the kit, you have probably made a speed Nagant. So let's get into this. Oh boy, I have a feeling it's going to be another Another overpowered one. We'll see, Mast. We'll see. I don't yeah, I don't think anyone's made an SR character either, Mast, but like I said, I haven't actually read through any of these kits because I wanted it to be fresh when I went over it, so we'll see. The plus ultra move is called an Unjust Job, and it deals 750% damage to a singular opponent. This skill has piercing shots, fair. Makes character ecstatic, fair. Increases character's critical skill impact and critical hit rate of character by 20% for 3 turns. 20% is fine so far, as long as we're not stacking critical hit impact for all of these, but we'll see. Action skill 1, Cool, Calm, and Collected. Increases character's max HP by 20% for 3 turns. Fine. Gives the character the ability to make a last stand up to 3 times. That's good. You're the first one to actually give a Nagant with a last stand, which she deserves a last stand. You know what? Everyone who's making her explode, she survived that explosion. She deserves to explode and then have a last stand. My thoughts. Gives character the ability to hide and composure for 2 turns. Also shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain. Okay, shortening action skill cooldown time by 1 is fine because you have a 5 and a 4 turn cooldown. We're good with that. Giving her composure for 2 turns and the ability to hide. Honestly, not too overpowered. The last stand 3 times with the hiding might be a little bit overpowered, but honestly, so far so good. And this is a fully DX character, keeping in mind that too. Honestly, not too bad. This is interesting. I like this. I like this so far, honestly. All right, next. Auto skill... Or, oops, I skipped action skill 2. Apologies. Action skill 2. You Can't Escape Me. Deals 325% damage to all opponents. Finally! Finally, an attack all. We got an attack all. We did kind of have like an attack all in the previous one, but it was attack 2. But an attack all. This skill has piercing shot. So this is like Sue all over again. We have a piercing shot attack all. Has a medium chance, 45% of inflicting bleed. This skill is a bullseye if the character has critical hit rate up. Increases character skill impact by 20% when character is hiding. Okay. That's actually okay, because she's not going to be hiding all the time, right? But then you also have bullseye if her crit rate is up. And piercing shot, like... Don't get me wrong, I would love to have a character, and this is what a lot of you guys have done in these kits, not even just UMass. I would love to have a character with both piercing shot and bullseye, but there's a reason they try not to put those, like, you know, on the same kit or same move together specifically, because putting them on the same move makes a character too overpowered, especially when it comes to PvP, because you are just able to get around all the evasion and get around all the barriers / defense up. So... that's why they typically don't put them on the same skill. If you split them between skills, it's okay. But putting them on the same skill makes that one skill really, really strong. So that might be a little bit too strong. But you know what? We'll roll with it for now. The first auto skill is a Sniper in the Dark. Increases character's critical hit skill impact by 25% when the battle starts for 1 turn. I actually like that for 1 turn. She has an extra 25%. Shoot, make it 50%. Make her a glass cannon turn 1. I'm okay with that. This effect refreshes every 2 turns. Now I'm less okay with it when I didn't read that part. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't give her 50% every 2 turns. That might be a little OP. But yeah. Yeah, that's... yeah, I retract my statement. Okay. If the character is hiding, increases their critical hit rate by 15%. This you can increase for sure. 25%, 30%, because they're only... how long are they hiding? They're able to hide for 2 turns. Oh yeah, 30% easy. If the character is the last one on the team, gives them the ability to make a last stand up to 2 times. Another last stand for 2 times, so she has 5 last stands. And you know what? I am so okay with that. It's like Mirko, but at the same time, I'm not okay with that. Like, how to explain? Nagant doesn't have that much stamina, right? She gets 1 shot and she's done. She may survive the 1 shot 1 time, but she's not doing it 5 times. So in a way, having 5 last stands doesn't make a lot of sense. Mirko having 5 last stands, think about the anime, think about the manga, makes a lot of sense because she just keeps going even when she loses limbs. Nagant does not do that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is 5 last stands too OP, or do you think it's fair? Let me know. While you guys are letting me know in the chat, I'll look back over here in a second. I'm going to read the second auto skill. Disillusioned with the Hero Society. I love the names that you guys come up with. Actually, really good. Increases skill impact by 20% against all hero opponents. Yes! Yes! There we go. A hero-specific targeting move. This is what we need. This is what we need in the game right now. We need a good villain character that takes out heroes. We really need a support villain. Like, Compress is kind of that, but not really. Not great. If Hawks is on the team, gives the character evasion for 2 turns. They get more. I like that. I like that stipulation. I like having specific characters on the team. If All For One is on the team, increases character's power by 25% for 2 turns. I love this type of idea of having like character-specific abilities. Like this is good. It's already in the game too on SR characters, so they could definitely do this with Nagant if they add her into the game. I like this. I like this a lot. So increasing the power by 25% for 2 turns if All For One's on the team. Once again, I feel like you could do more percentage-wise, and it's not going to hurt the kit. Shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 when using a 3rd successfully executed skill chain up to 4 times. So that makes this a 3-turn cooldown, and that makes this a 2-turn cooldown. I think you need to up this to 5 turns then, because you are going to be reducing action skill cooldown time with this action skill up here, and then you're also reducing it with your auto skill here. So I think they both need to be 5 because a 2-turn cooldown might be a little too low for her to just get with her kit alone, because then you got to remember you can also add on action skill cooldown time memories, and then that would lower her action skill cooldown time to 1 turn, which would be a little too OP. So I think you need to raise this cooldown to 5 turns, and then she's good. Otherwise, if you keep it at 1 turn, she's going to be a little bit too OP. So, yeah. And then the picture you chose, of course, with Chisaki in the back. I like it. Next, we have Super Sun. And I'm going to look over at the comments real quick. Yeah, we do need a hero destroying Annie Shiggy. Absolutely. We're not going to get Shigaraki for the anniversary, though. I hate to tell you guys. Or at least we're not going to get a normal Shigaraki for the anniversary. You know, the new season Shigaraki. We might get a costumed one, but villains honestly just aren't as popular in Japan as the heroes are, or really anywhere. I mean, just look at any of my polls that I do here on YouTube, and you would see that villains just aren't as, you know, hype as the heroes. So they're going to make the anniversary as hype as they can get. Probably another Bakugo and Deku, unfortunately. But we'll see. I'd be happy to see something different. I will be doing a video in the future where I give you guys like my full breakdown of what I think the anniversary could be. But I really don't think it's going to be villains. I would love to, yes, please bring forth the villain meta. Been dreaming of it for a while. I've talked about it for a while, and it hasn't happened yet. But at the same time, I did say we were going to get a defense meta. In PvP, we did get that defense meta after the speed meta for a little bit, and now it's gone again. But we will eventually get a villain meta. I promise you, just maybe not soon. Yeah, it's probably another Bakugo. It's probably another Deku. I'm sorry, Duckage. I'm sorry. But yeah, it is what it is. A tag character? Yeah, you know what? Operation? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tag characters would be sick. A new rarity would be sick. I think they'll probably do rarities before they do tag characters, but who knows? You know, joint characters, not even necessarily tag characters, like maybe Deku with Eri on his back, or Gentle and La Bravo together. Those would be cool. Don't know how those would work, though. Don't know how they work overall, but I predict the future. Say it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a villain anniversary. It's not. I probably shouldn't have said that right there, because you can go and totally edit that out of context. But yeah, it's probably not gonna be a villain anniversary. It's just it's realistically not gonna happen, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next kit. Super Sun. Here we go. It's a Mind type unit. It's a UR, and it's former PSC assassin Lady Nagant. And so it's before, obviously, she became a villain, unless you consider an assassin a villain already, but she's doing it for the good of the city? I don't know. Anyways, Plus Ultra is headshots. Based on the name of the Plus Ultra. I don't know that she was really a hero, but anyways, headshot deals 400% damage to a single opponent. This skill lands a critical hit, just guaranteed crit, and that's fine for a Plus Ultra. Decreases the opponent's skill impact by 40% for 3 turns. Oh, so we've done something completely different from Infinite and the previous kits. And other kits did like decrease defense and critical hit rate for opponents, but none of them decreased the opponent's skill impact by 40%. Like, that's a massive amount of skill impact lost. So that's actually pretty cool. This is more of a debuff. I'm guessing this is going to be more of a debuff character than like a buff character, which would be cool. It'd be cool to see a debuff Lady Nagant. That's actually a good idea. A character who just debuffs the enemy team completely, which would be cool. We don't have very many characters like that in the game. So her first action skill is called Hollow Paint Bullet. It deals 250% damage to a single opponent, gives the character Bullseye. If the character has Piercing Shot, removes it. People don't like Sue right now. This is 100% geared towards Sue. People are not happy with her. And skill impact is increased by 30%. If the character already has Bullseye, removes it. Okay. Gives the character Piercing Shot instead, so it flip-flops them. Wait. Am I under? No, I'm understanding this wrong. Hold on. It happens sometimes, guys. It happens. All right. So this is not targeting the opponent. This is herself. Okay. So if Lady Nagant, the character, has Piercing Shot, it removes it. And skill impact is increased by 30% when using this action skill. If the character already has Bullseye, when she uses this action skill, it removes it and gives the character Piercing Shot instead. And skill impact is increased by 30%. Okay. That's a weird one. That was hard for me to wrap my mind around at first. I apologize. Gives the character Ecstatic for 3 turns. Decreases the opponent's critical hit rate by 30% for 3 turns. Giving her Ecstatic for 3 turns is fine. Decreasing the crit rate, it's another debuff. I love debuffing. That's so cool. The one thing I will say is this part right here is worded a little bit weird, and it's a little bit confusing when you stop and think about it, because if she has Piercing Shot, it removes it. But then if she has Bullseye, it removes it and then gives her Piercing Shot. But that means she has Piercing Shot. Does that mean it removes it again? If that makes sense. Probably not until the next turn, right? Because it gives it to her at the end of the turn is what I'm assuming. And then next time you use this action skill again, it'll remove the Piercing Shot instead. But it's just kind of weird the way it's worded. So that could be confusing for people. Just keep that in mind. 3-turn cooldown. That's fine. We have Hawks in the game with a 3-turn cooldown. As long as you're not reducing cooldown with any of these action skills, you can have 2 3-turn cooldowns. But if you reduce action skill cooldown time at all anywhere in here, it's going to be a little too low. Action skill 2, Curved Bullet, deals 250% damage to a single opponent. Gives the character Clockwise Spin. I hope you tell me what Clockwise Spin is. I see it right there. Okay, we'll take a look at that here in a second. If the character has Counterclockwise Spin, there's 2 of them, remove it and skill impact is increased by 30%. If the character already has Clockwise Spin, remove it, give the character Counterclockwise Spin instead, and skill impact is increased by 30%. So same thing as what you did with the previous action skill, except for now we're dealing with 2 different buffs. We'll take a look at those here in a second. And then gives the character double attack for 3 turns, which is totally fine, and then decreases the opponent's speed by 30% for 3 turns. I love another debuff. I actually really like the debuff stuff. That's cool. I'm going to skip the auto skills for a second, scroll down to the buffs here, and take a look at the buffs. So we have the Clockwise Spin. When this character damages an opponent, the opponent to the left is also hit with that attack. I like this. It's similar to the random one. You guys came up with some unique stuff. Honestly, good. Very, very good. If there is only one opponent, that opponent is hit with that attack again. Let's go. That's lit. Counterclockwise Spin. When this character damages an opponent, the opponent to the right is also hit with that attack. If there's only one opponent, that opponent is hit with the attack again. You know what? That's kind of a sick kit. That is kind of a cool idea. They'll probably never add something like that into the game because I can't see them adding a status ailment into the game that's called Clockwise Spin, you know? I mean, for heaven's sakes, they named the guild Club. It's called Club. They just really don't like complicated like words, so they're never going to add in clockwise or counterclockwise. And think of all the words they ban in the chat on the English side. So, but maybe eventually we'll end up with something like that does a multi 2-person attack though. So that'd be cool. Action skill 1, Airwalk, gives character, or sorry, not action skill 1, auto skill 1, Airwalk, gives character the ability to hide for 2 turns when battle starts. Okay, hiding for 2 turns is good. A lot of people have this similar. Gives character the ability to hide for 2 turns after receiving an attack 3 times from the opponent. I like that. Multi-hit attacks count as 1 attack. So after she receives so many attacks, she's able to hide. That's good. I like that. Auto skill 2, reload. When this character misses, how's she gonna miss? Is she gonna blinding is the only way I know of, so that means she has to be blinded. Anyways, continuing. When this character misses, deals 0 damage or only hits the opponent when there are more than one opponent. Shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 3. Increases character's power by 3% every time a critical hit is made. That's a little bit too OP, and in terms of missing, I'm not sure how the character misses, and so that's kind of a problem here. Yeah, you need to define how she's going to miss, and then maybe it makes a little bit more sense. I think what you're saying is it makes sense, or only hits one opponent when there are more than one opponent. I think you're saying that if there's only one opponent, she misses no matter what. Maybe that's the only way I can really interpret that, though. But that right there is a little bit confusing. Everything else in the kit, great, but that confused me. I'm not gonna lie. And then of course we have the picture of the assassin. Oh, I'm not. No. I'm not chat banned from the game. Wait, what? Oh, Duckage is chat banned. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Who got chat banned? Did someone get chat banned in the game? Am I seeing this right? How did you get chat banned? What'd you say? Did you say hi and it flagged the word? Like club, man. Club. Oh, she can't hit more than one because of clockwise and counterclockwise. Oh, so it would be like a miss with the extra attack, maybe? Okay, that makes sense. Maybe. I don't know. Still trying to make sense of that one, but we're gonna move. We move. All right, we have Mr. Zombie next. ABL, you are gun for hire. Lady Nagant, plus ultra move. Coup de Grace. Deals 600%. This just reminds me of One Piece. Just saying. Deals 600% damage to a single opponent. This skill lands a bullseye if the opponent has speed down. Okay. You know what? That's fine. Medium chance, 40% of causing the opponent to bleed for 3 turns. High chance, 85% of causing the opponent to bleed for 5 turns. Usually these would be opposite, so it'd be like medium or high chance of causing the opponent to bleed for 3 turns, and then medium chance of causing the opponent to bleed for 5 turns, or 3 turns, whatever. You know what I mean. Reverse those. Reverse the percentages and it makes more sense. Inflicts wounding onto the opponent for 8 turns. And okay, wounding right here is a status effect that reduces the amount of healing a character receives from HP restoring actions by 50%. Now, this is not necessarily in the game yet, or an effect specifically called this, but it absolutely will become one. Guaranteed at some point in time. Every game has something like this. I guess, yeah, something's going to happen like that. Something like that is going to happen at some point. So that's a good idea right there. Action skill 1, armor piercing shot. This sounds like a familiar character's move. Anyone ever heard of Bakugo? I think you got to name it something different just because of, you know, that being so famously Bakugo's move. So yeah. Deals 300% damage to a single opponent. This skill's damage is increased by 20% if the opponent has damage down. So if the opponent has decreased damage, basically, you're going to make up the damage by doing an extra 20%. That's okay. It's called armor piercing shot and you didn't give it pierce. I would give this pierce too because it's a pretty good move. Give her pierce unless the auto skills below, give her pierce no matter what, but otherwise give this move pierce because it is a 5-turn cooldown and it's not too OP. Like, you can make it a little bit better. Action skill 2, crippling leg shot. So you're just going to shoot somebody on the leg. 6-turn cooldown. Deals 300% damage to a single opponent. Lowers the opponent's speed by 20% for 2 turns and removes all the opponent's temporary speed up buffs. I like that. Removing the speed up buffs is good. It's another debuffer. Always, like I said, I love characters who debuff enemies. Prevents the opponent from gaining speed. Ooh, up and evasion buffs. You know what? We don't have any character that prevents other characters from getting evasion. That'd be cool. I'm going to prevent Green Hawks from having his evasion. Or I'm going to prevent Red Ida from having his evasion. We don't need Bullseye because we just prevent it. That'd be pretty cool. That would be awesome. Auto skill 1, unrivaled marks. Words. This is why I do videos, so I can do retakes. But auto skill 1, unrivaled marksmanship, gives the character the ability for attacks to land a bullseye. If the attack... If the character's... It's a lot of kits, guys. If the character's HP is above 60%, increases character speed by 15%, up to a maximum of 60% when attacking a hero. So basically, the more HP they have, the more speed they have, and as she gets lower, closer to 60%, she drops down to 15% speed, is the way I'm interpreting that, and if that's the case, that's fine. And then giving her the ability to land a bullseye when she's above 60% is good as well. Because it increases character speed by 15%, you don't really have a stipulation on... Is it... Never mind. I interpreted that so wrong. It's a lot of kits. Once again, apologies. Increases character speed by 15% when attacking a hero. So every time she attacks a hero, she gains 15% speed. That's okay. That's fine. Okay. Continuing, now that we got that sorted. Action skill 2, a chance to reload. Whenever the character defeats an opponent, shortens the character's action skill cooldown time by 3. Also removes all speed up buffs gained from the unrivaled marksmanship. 3 turns. What does that put us at? Puts us at 3 turns here and 2 turns here. You need to make this a 6-turn cooldown if... Well, actually, it's every time she whenever the character defeats an opponent. No, okay, that's fine. That's not too overpowered because you have to defeat an opponent. Well, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Even though it makes this a 2-turn cooldown, which I think might be a little bit too dangerous. As I said before, it does have the stipulation of having to act. And apparently OBS disconnected there for a second and reconnected. So yeah, moving on. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We passed the halfway mark, guys. We have passed the halfway mark. Let it be known. Thank you to everyone that's stuck around up to this point. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your comments. I am kind of looking over, glancing, reading all of them. If I don't respond to them, it's just because I'm trying to get through these kits. There is a lot. We have the Alex Shinigami also makes quite a few kits in the Create Your Own Character. He has made a destruction type UR Melancholic Days Lady Nagant. It's a good thing I have decent reading skills because you guys use some crazy big words. Well, that's not like the biggest word, but words that would be hard for other people to say on these kits. And I love it. I love to see like how knowledgeable you guys are and how creative you are with your names. Honestly, it's great. Plus ultra move is called In My Sight High Caliber. It deals 700% damage to a single opponent. This move has bullseye if the opponent has decreased speed. Increases the character's critical hit rate by 30% for 3 turns. Another crit rate increase. We have bullseye if they have decreased speed. That's fine. Medium chance, 45% to stun the opponent for 2 turns. Okay, we finally got a stun on the plus ultra. And then character gains the ability to mark a new opponent. Ooh, do you have to mark an opponent at the beginning of battle? That would be sick. You get to mark an opponent, you do extra damage to them or so. I'm going to read the rest of this kit. I'm not going to speculate, but that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. You want me to scroll down and read the bottom of Alex's kit? Okay. Oh, you got... Ooh, that was a burp. Apologies. You guys want me to read it off this? Is this what we should be... All right. Hold on. You're right. You're right. Hydros is going to be confused, but let's go. Okay, we'll do this. We'll continue from here. You even got the percentages highlighted and stuff. This is like a deep fake. Oh man. Okay. All right, now we're good. Her first action skill is called Curved Bullet. And this is a DX, of course. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Increases the character's critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. Decreases the opponent's speed by 15% for 3 turns, a debuff, along with the crit rate increase. I like it. Gives the character the ability to hide for 2 turns when used in a 3rd successfully executed skill chain. I like the technical hit. I like the speed decrease. I like the crit increase. This is good for VE Tower so far. This is feeling more like a VE Tower character to me than a PvP character. And I feel like a lot of the previous characters, I know I talk a lot about PvP a lot, but I feel like a lot of them are geared towards PvP with the evasion and stuff like that, or at least they have been up till now. This definitely feels more like a VE Tower character so far. But let's continue. Action skill 2, Don't Move. Deals 375% damage to a single opponent, decreases the opponent's speed and skill impact by 10% for 3 turns, increases effect relative to number of skill chains. Okay, but how much? How much are we increasing it by? You need to give me a percentage for how much we're increasing the effect here to make that make a little more sense. Increases the character's skill impact by 20% for 2 turns. Medium chance, 35% of stunning the opponent for 1 turn. That's fine. And for anyone who doesn't know this, I'm assuming most people do, but whenever you have a medium chance to stun, if you land a critical hit, it increases that chance to stun. So it's actually more like a high chance to stun, which is solid. And cooldown times of 4 is solid. The first auto skill is called a Cog to Keep Stability. Increases the character's action skill impact by 15% every turn, max 60%. Every time the character lands a critical hit on an opponent, reduces the opponent's speed by 7% for 3 turns. Prevents the character from getting a status element for 1 turn when battle starts. That is the first character, first Nagant that we've gone through that prevents status elements, but she only does it 1 time for herself 1 turn. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in context, you know, of the character herself, if you think about the anime and the manga, but I'm okay with it because it can make sense because she can negate a status element by, you know, airwalking and getting away from it, let's say, because she can get away from like Deku, and so that makes a little bit of sense. The second auto skill, Sniper's Mark. At the start of battle, the character, let me see if I can, I'm gonna need to move this up a little bit. Oh, does not like it. All right. At the start of battle, the character marks an opponent. When the character attacks a marked opponent, increases the critical hit rate and critical hit skill impact by 35%. When character is hiding, gives them piercing shots. Increases the character's skill impact by 20% when their critical hit rate is increased. Okay, honestly, not overpowered. I like the idea of marking an enemy, but right here it says at the start of battle, the character marks an opponent. That means you don't get to pick. And then up here it says character gains the ability to mark a new opponent. Does that mean you get to pick at that point, or are you able to pick all the way through? It'd help if you gave us a little bit of, you know, are we able to mark, or is it just random? Let us know that in the kit. Yeah, I agree with you, Kian, I apologize, I'm probably saying it all wrong. The fact that she's technically hidden like she was during the Deku fight makes sense, because if she's hidden, she can't be affected by status elements for this part right here. That does make sense. So that was Alex's kit. And very cool that you actually put all this together, made the action skills and stuff. If not, like, I love the effort you put in. It looks amazing. I have to give you a little bit of a shout out here because that's good work. Honestly, really, really good work. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed about, you didn't do a whole Plus Ultra animation with it. I would have loved to see that. But yeah, very good. Next, we have Draco Galaxy. We have an int type broken hero. What does this tell me about the kits? Does that mean the character's going to be broken, or is this the version of Nagant that like got literally broken by Deku? What am I about to read, guys? Anyways, int type broken hero Lady Nagant. Here we go. Let's find out. Plus Ultra is called Airwalk Devastation. It deals 700% damage to multiple opponents. Huh? I'm already... Okay, so it's definitely the broken hero. Like, she's broken. She's definitely broken. Do I even need to read more of the kit to tell you guys that she's broken? Do you guys see this percentage? This is so broken. Why? Why? Why have you done this? Alright, anyways. Deal 700% damage to multiple opponents. High chance of knocking out the opponent for 3 turns. Okay. Then increases character skill impact by 30% for 3 turns. When you say knocking out, I'm going to assume you mean like stun. High chance of stunning the opponent for 3 turns, and increases the skill impact by 30% for 3 turns. Jesus, we got a mini infinite over here. This is a mini infinite. So just, yep. Once again, it's not based on which kit makes the most sense or it's most balanced. I'll just remind you guys, it's whichever kit you like the best. So if you like the broken kit, that is totally fair. We're going to continue. Action skill 1. Air shot. Deals 500% damage to a single opponent. Medium chance of giving the opponent bleed for 3 turns. And character increases defense for 3 times. Skill cooldown. And this for 3 times. Increases character's defense. I think this part confuses me a little bit. Increases character's defense for 3 times. I think you mean increases character's defense by like a 3-time multiplier of whatever it is originally, which would be pretty decent. That'd be probably a little bit too strong if you're taking their base stats and increasing them by ×3. That might be insane. That's why it's really better to do percentages that make a little bit more sense. Skill cooldown of 5 on this move though, not too bad. That's not too overpowered. Honestly, everything else is overpowered, but that's not too overpowered. Action skill 2 is called Stealth Counter. It gives characters enabled to do counter for 6 turns. Okay, so gives characters the ability to counter for 6 turns. Decreases damage by opponents by 30% and increases defense by another 30%. And it has a skill cooldown time of 9. Okay. What I need from you on this one is a counter for how long it increases the defense. Otherwise, it sounds like she's just permanently able to stack defense and decrease damage right here, which would be OP. Unless maybe you meant for it to be that way. Maybe you wanted her to be that broken that she can just stack 30% damage down and 30% increased defense every time she uses this action skill. And it is a 9-turn cooldown. So actually, maybe you meant for it to be that way. But 6 turns of countering is kind of crazy. I don't know. We got to read the rest of this. This is so out there. Auto skill 1. Yeah, I give up on life award. Oh, Jesus. Duckage. Auto skill 1. Hero turned into a villain. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 50% and also increases max health by 25%. If there is a villain on the team, increases speed by 25% if there's a hero on the team. Okay, so you get these buffs, 50% and 25% if there's a villain on the team, and then if there's a hero, you get a 25% speed buff. So she's a mixed villain hero team, which is cool. That would be cool if they actually had like leader skills like Dokkan, you know, like to be the leader of a mixed hero villain team, because she's one of the only characters that would really fit that role, but there is no such thing in My Hero, obviously. Auto skill 2. I'm sorry. Increases character skill impact by 20% and plus ultra gauge by 5%. And if there's any Izuku Midoriya on the team, increases power by 20%. And this is all for 1 on the team, decreases skill cooldown by 2. So if all for 1's on the team, it decreases your skill cooldown time by 2, making this 9-turn cooldown a 7-turn cooldown, which still isn't too overpowered, and a 5-turn cooldown, a 3-turn cooldown, making it so you can use this skill even though you're not able to use this skill. So you've actually done okay on the cooldowns and the way you give them back to your character. I do think the plus ultra is a little too overpowered, and I think the infinite stacking defense is a little bit too overpowered, but I guess the infinite stacking defense doesn't really matter if a character has Pierce like Fantasy Sue. So I thought she was going to be a lot more broken than she turned out being. The plus ultra is still too broken, but everything else is not too bad, honestly. So decent job on that kit. All right, yes. We're moving on to Mia now. I'm looking over at the comments. That's why there was a short little pause there. Going back to leader skills for a second before we read Mia's. Yeah, I would love if My Hero eventually adds in leader skills or things like that. I don't necessarily see it happening. I do see type teams coming, like ABL type teams and stuff like that. Like I said before, I see, you know, specific character teams. You need UA high students, class 1A students, stuff like that. Probably won't see leader skills. We'll probably see a different rarity of character. We'll probably see tag characters eventually, but who knows how far those things are off. Okay, on to Mia. We have ABL, UR, Tainted Heart, Lady Nagant. Her plus ultra move is called Airwalk Barrage. Okay, so another nod towards the airwalk. Deals 600% damage to all opponents. That's okay. That percentage is not too much. It might be too much. No, that's fair. Dobby is probably more broken than that. Okay, I'll give you the 600%. 700% was too much. 600%, depending on the rest of the skill, I'll give it to you. This skill lands a bullseye. Okay, as long as it doesn't have pierce, it's okay. I'm okay with it. High chance of causing the opponent to bleed for 3 turns. Makes character ecstatic for 4 turns. Increases plus ultra gauge of all allies by 30% and decreases damage dealt to a single ally by 40% for 2 turns. Is this at random or do you get to choose? Also gives character a ability that nullifies all non-critical hits for 2 turns if the character's critical skill impact is increased. I love that. That is very, very creative. That is awesome. We need something like that in the game for our characters that nullifies non-critical hits, and that couldn't fit any better on a character other than Lady Nagant. Like, that fits perfectly for her because she nullifies any, like, you know, basic attacks, because that's what a sniper does. They're not going to get hit by basic attacks. You need to hit the sniper with a critical hit or like a big attack like Deku did, essentially. So that is, I like that so much. That's really, really good. Action skill 1, high angle fire. Deals 475% damage to a single opponent. This skill lands a bullseye. Increases character's critical hit rate by 25% for 3 turns. Low chance of causing the opponent to bleed for 2 turns. Higher chance of causing the opponent to bleed when used in a successfully executed skill chain. I like that. And you know what? You could even make this like higher medium chance, because it's a low chance here, medium chance of causing the opponent to bleed when using a second successfully executed skill chain, and then a high chance of causing the opponent to bleed when used in a third successfully executed skill chain, which would be kind of cool. Give her some different uses there. A cooldown time of 3. I like the low cooldowns, and honestly, as long as you're not giving a character like this Pierce on top of like everything else you're giving her, fairly balanced. But if you give her Pierce somewhere down here, it's going to be unbalanced. Action skill 2, Hollow Point Bullet. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent. This skill lands a bullseye, another bullseye, so Ida's just shut down. Anyone that has evasion is shut down. Decreases the opponent's defense by 45%. Whew! That is massive. That is a massive defense decrease. Crazy. For 2 turns if the character's critical hit rate is increased. Also, increases character's critical skill impact by 35% for 3 turns. Okay, that's honestly not too bad. This part might be a little bit overpowered. Decreasing defense by 45% is just insane. That's so massive. 5-turn cooldown on that though. Auto skill 1, Gifted Precision. Character gains piercing shot for 1 turn every turn. This effect cannot be nullified or canceled. Mia, it was going so well. It was going so well. Up until right here. Okay, and I'm looking back at the comments right now because I had a second to look over there. Dobby is 500%. Yeah, okay, so Mia, 600% might be a bit much on your plus ultra as well. 600% might be a little bit much, but Dobby at the same time has Hellfire, so I'm still going to give you the 600% because obviously Nagant isn't going to have extra damage from Hellfire. But this right here is a little bit too overpowered. Character gains piercing shot for 1 turn every turn. And it can't be nullified or canceled. Yeah, it might be a little bit too overpowered. A little bit too much. Increases character's critical hit rate by 25%. Stackable up to 3 times when not affected by power down. Okay, so every turn she increases it by 25% when she's not affected by power down. That's a 75% crit rate increase because not a lot of characters necessarily do power down. I would change that maybe to like 15%. 15% stackable. Makes it a little bit better. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 40% when the battle starts if a hero is on the opponent's team. That's fine. And that's an easily achievable, right? Every 3 turns prevents the character from getting a status element for 1 turn. And once again, we already know the reason why preventing or nullifying status elements is okay, so we're good with that. Then we have auto skill 2. I said don't move. Increases if character lands a critical hit. What increases? I'm confused. Anyways, continuing. Increases max HP of all allies by 5%. Like that support, stackable up to 6 times. So you can increase your the max HP up to 6 times. But how does this stack? Is it just every turn? I'm going to assume it's every turn. If the character does not... Oh, wait. No, it's if you land a critical hit. Okay. If character lands a critical hit, increases max HP of all allies by 5%. So every time you land a crit, you're increasing max HP. That's actually not bad. Okay, that's fair. 6 times... perfectly okay. If the character does not land a critical hit, increases their speed and critical hit rate by 20% for 4 turns and gives the character the ability to hide for 1 turn. More hiding. That's only if she doesn't land a critical hit though that she gets to hide. That's hard to say because then that means people are going to try to avoid landing crits, right? To be able to hide with her. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know if you're ever actually going to get to see her hide. Interesting. Skills have a medium chance of inducing fear on an opponent if Izuku Midoriya is on the team. A hero, well, I guess she's what would you call her? A anti-hero? An anti-hero with fear. So that'd be unique. That'd be cool. And then, of course, we have, I believe, this to be original art. So, Mia, if you did, in fact, draw this, like... kudos to you. That is really cool. And honestly, if I was voting on just like artwork alone, I'm not sure who I would be more impressed by because these are both very good. We have Mia's and then we also have Alex's, which takes some effort to go in and change all that in Photoshop or whatever as well. So both of these arts, very good. Like, I'm impressed. Thank you guys for taking the time to do this. I really, really do enjoy looking at these and seeing what you guys have come up with. The kits, the drawings, the characters, everything. Very cool. All right. Before we move on to the next character, I'm going to look over here. There's no ads. Ayo, the best thing about live streams is no ads, but I need the ads. Yeah, I need to make money so I can do my summons and feed my addiction. But I get you. Yeah, the ads can get annoying. But yeah, the art, I agree with you guys so much. The art is sick. I really do appreciate it. Hats off definitely to the people who have worked on the arts and stuff like that. Like, good job. Okay, moving on to Barry. We're getting towards the end here. Let's see. Let me just scroll down and see how many more we have. We have Kaz. Okay, we have 2 more. 2 more. All right, so let's go through these. Barry Balls. I feel... Why did I say both names? I should have just said... Barry, if you're here, you suck. All right. Headshot. An effect that happens 10% of the time when Lady Nagant lands a critical hit with her action skill or plus ultra. Instantly kills the character in Ultra Arena, ignoring persistence or last stands and dealing the maximum amount of damage to bosses. Just instantly okay, so it doesn't kill the boss. It just does like 999 damage. Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay, so headshot, 10% chance. If you're going to make it instantly kill in Ultra Arena, this part right here has to be less than 10%. This has to be like a Devilman thing. Like from Dokkan, you know, back... It has to be like 1%. 1% of the time you land a headshot. 1%. And you instantly kill a character. Otherwise, if you're going to have this 10%, maybe make it like she's guaranteed to hit 999 damage no matter what. That would be more fair, because 999 damage with Pierce or something like that is going to kill the enemy. So maybe 999 damage with Pierce or something like that. That would be more fair. At least then people have a way to try and maybe counter it, right? But just 10% chance of instantly killing an opponent, it's going to be a little bit too overpowered. But we'll see where your headshot comes in, you know, so we'll see how that fits into your overall kit. All right, so that's what headshot does as we get into the kit. All right, you are mined the lovely Lady Nagant. Her plus ultra is for a better society. Deals 700% damage to a single opponent. Increases character's critical hit rate by 50%. She's also getting 50% crit increase, so she's going to land crits all the time and probably get that 10% chance, 1 out of 10 hits. And that includes the normal hits. So you're telling me if a normal hit lands a headshot, that's going to Okay, yeah. Anyways, increases character's critical hit rate by 50% for 3 turns if the character is hiding. Okay, medium chance 50% of inflicting bleed on the opponent for 2 turns. Low chance 20% of inflicting fear on all opponents for 3 turns. Okay, first one with a double status element on an action skill. We like that. Or not even an action skill, sorry. Plus ultra. First action skill is I'll get the job done. Deals 450% damage to a single opponent. Skills gain 80% critical hit rate if character has piercing shot. Ugh, this is going to be overpowered. Skill will gain bullseye if any opponent is inflicted with fear. Okay, we also got that in there. Guys, you can't be giving them pierce and bullseye on the same action skill. It's too much. It's too much. Action skill 2, a quirk to help me win. Gives character the ability to hide for 5 turns. 5 turns. 5 turns. This is a 4-turn cooldown. 5 turns. 4-turn cooldown. 5 turns. That's not okay. That's not okay. She's always hiding. Gives character piercing shot for 4 turns. Oh my goodness, it's too broken. Increases the chance of landing a headshot by 15%. Hello? So she's just gonna fetus delete us people? Oh my. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. Increases skill impact by 50% for 3 turns if the opponent is bleeding. Okay, yeah, might as well throw that into the mix. We'll just increase our skill impact by 50%. Why not? And you've already niced yourself with the action skill cooldown times. So, I mean, I don't know. Which one's more broken? Infinites or this? Infinite or Barry? They're about on par for me so far. All right, auto skill 1. The hope in his eyes. Gives character a turn of persistence every time. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't even want to keep reading this. It's so broken. Gives character a turn of persistence every time an action skill is used in a successfully executed skill chain. Does that mean you have persistence starting turn 1 when you use an action skill? Because if you get persistence turn 1 and your cooldowns are too long, or you miss your cooldowns, or maybe they'll add a character into the game who extends cooldowns on the opponent team, which would be sick, then you could just get Nagant to kill herself at full health with the way persistence works. Am I wrong about that, guys? I'm thinking maybe you can just get Nagant to kill herself. I don't know if you want to be giving persistence every time an action skill is used. Maybe when you drop below a certain amount of health, then that makes more sense. Increases the plus ultra gauge of all allies by 30% every 4 turns. Okay, so every 4 turns that means you go the first 3 turns, get your plus ultra, then on turn 4, you're instantly giving yourself 30% plus ultra gauge back, which is kind of cool. And then decreases the speed of all opponent heroes by 20%. Okay, that's good for PvP, that last part. But the plus ultra gauge, the action skill status elements are good for PvE VE tower. Action skill 2, just another pawn in his plan. When character is knocked out, deals 550% damage to all opponents. Yeah, this is what do I say? I'm actually at a loss. I'm actually at a loss. Guys, the percentage just keeps getting higher when she gets knocked out. You just want her to explode and kill people. That's all you want from Nagant? You don't care? No one cares about what her quirk is. They just want her to explode. They just want her to... Okay. 550% damage. 550%. On all opponents. That is insane. Alright, continuing. Increases critical hit rate of all allies by 40%. Whew. For 5 turns, and gives all allies piercing shot for 4 turns. Yes. I don't even know how to tell you to start fixing this. It's broken. It's too broken. It's too broken. There's no saving it. Jesus. Okay, also decreases the defense of all opponent villains by 40%. That's not terrible because it's focused on villains. But everything else... Dude, Barry. Oh my gosh, you have made me speechless. Like, actually, yeah, it's broke. Duckage, it's broke. It's so broke. You made her very broken. You did a good job. You definitely did a good job. Yeah, my mind was shattered there for a second. Absolutely. I'm gonna recollect myself here because this last one, I have a feeling, might also be broken just because of what Kaz has put here. Kaz has put a PUR symbol, which is something people have been speculating about, asking about, praying for, you know, to Bandai for some time. Maybe we'll get it during the 2-year anniversary. Probably not. But yeah, so we're gonna end this off with a PUR. So this would be a rarity beyond UR. Probably if they ever do add a PUR, it'll probably be to level 150, maybe 200. I don't know. They might, no, 150. I think they're gonna keep normal URs at 130. They'll add boards 14 and 15 to, you know, all characters. So you'll go up to board 15 with the addition of the story for season 6 and whenever season 7 comes out. But then yeah, PURs will probably be able to level up to 150 while regular URs are level 130. All right, so silent but deadly Lady Nagant. We got the little Nagant stare. Plus ultra move is called Bullseye. That's a little bit confusing because, you know, Bullseye is a status element in the game, but that's fine. Deals 700% damage to a single opponent. At least it's one opponent this time and not all opponents. That's more fair. High chance of stunning the opponent for 2 turns. This skill gains piercing shot if the opponent is below 60%. Shortens action skill cooldown time of all allies by 2. This is great. And it's not feeling as broken as I thought it would be. This actually does this right here. The rest of this is pretty average, actually. Skill gains piercing shot if opponent is below 60% HP. High chance of stunning for 2 turns. I mean, that's all pretty average. That's not anything too insane for a PUR. But the really good part here is the shortening action skill cooldown time by 2 for all allies, including herself. Because it doesn't say excluding herself. That's OP. And so if we take a look right here at the cooldown times, right? Cooldown time of 4 and cooldown time of 3. That makes a 2-turn cooldown and a 1-turn cooldown. So what I'm going to say you need to do is at least make this 4 turns. And then if we have two two-turn cooldowns on a PUR, I'll accept that because it's a PUR. But you still can't have a 1-turn cooldown because you can't have a character having an action skill up every single turn. That's BS, right? That'd just be too broken. So... yeah, but this is a really good effect right here, and that makes her worthy of being a PUR, in my opinion. Shortening action skill cooldown time by 2 on just her kit alone, and then add on some action skill cooldown memories like Splash, and it's ridiculous. Okay. The next action skill is, or the first action skill is called Airwalk. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent, and gives all allies the ability to evade 1 time. I am liking the support. Are you trying to make a villain support? Are you a man after my own heart? Because that's what it feels like. But yeah, giving all allies the ability to evade 1 time is great. If the opponent is above 50% HP, gives the opponent bleed for 3 turns. Okay. And then skill impact is increased relative to character speed. So hopefully you're going to increase her speed below. So it's kind of giving me Gentle Criminal vibes, kind of in a way. Cooldown time of 4, once again, that's fine if it's a PUR. We're just keeping in mind it would be like, you know, that extra rarity. Action skill 2, Scatter Shot deals, okay, here's the attack all, deals 300% damage to all opponents, 35% chance to stun. Ooh. That might be a little overpowered. That's even stronger than Vigilante Deku, because remember, whenever you take the stun, you can increase the chance whenever you land a crit, and that high of a chance of stunning all opponents might be a little bit too much. That's a little too overpowered. You need to lower the percentage. Increases characters plus Ultra Gauge by 40%. Love plus Ultra Gauge raise, really good for VE Tower. If the character's speed is also increases character skill impact by 30% for 3 turns. Okay, so we did 30% skill impact here. And then we did, where else did we do? Skill impact is increased relative. Okay, that's just for that action skill, so it's not for 3 turns. Okay, so it's not stacking, that's not too OP. Well, I mean, it stacks if you use this one first, but you know what I mean. Cooldown time of 4. You changed that mid me going through this. You know what? Fair play. You got me. Auto skill 1, False Hope. Increases character speed by 30%. So there's the increase in speed. And critical hit rate by 30%. For 2 turns when battle starts. 2 turns isn't too OP, that's fair. And further increases speed by 20% after turn 3 for 3 turns if character's HP is above 50%. So she basically just keeps a speed up, but instead of being 30%, it goes down to 20%. You could honestly keep this at 30% and it would be fine. It's not going to hurt anything since it's only on herself and not on allies. The second auto skill, Nowhere to Hide. If character speed is increased, gives character Bullseye. Okay, love that. And gives character Hide. There's the hide mechanic when HP is above 50%. This is what I was talking about. She should have Hide when she has her HP above a certain amount. I talked about this way earlier in the video. But she should be able to hide until she hits a certain health threshold, and then she can no longer hide, because that's just how she works as a character in the anime and the manga. That's how a sniper works, you know, they hide until they can't. So that makes sense to me. Furthermore, increases all ally skill impact by 30% for 3 turns when battle starts. That's a really OP buff. That's really good, actually. And something like if people were just reading this for the first time and it was a real character, they would gloss over that, but that's really good. And then, okay, PUs, apparently PURs get a auto skill 3. Is this in addition to the EX auto skill, or is this your EX auto skill? That's the question. Because if this is the EX auto skill here, that's not really super special. So what I'm saying is basically PUR should get this 3rd auto skill plus the EX auto skill, giving them 4 auto skills. That would be cool. But anyways, let's read this. When Nagant is defeated, deals... You added this in while I was doing the video, didn't you? Or while I was doing the stream, didn't you? Kaz, you did not have this before. It says edited, but I know you just edited it up there. Did you add this in while we were going through this? Kaz, you did not. This was not originally there, was it? Somebody tell me, was this originally there? You did not. You did not do this beforehand. You did not. It was so balanced. It was so balanced up until this point. Let's keep going. You guys just, you know, I hope in the future at some point, you know, the devs, I don't know if the devs keep up on any of the Ultra Impact channels since there's not a ton of them, you know, but if they ever watch my videos or watch my streams, I hope they see what you guys have done here today, and I hope they go, hey, people just want Nagant to die, and they add that into the game. I really do. When Nagant is defeated, deals 700% damage to everyone on the battlefield. Does that include your teammates? Does that include your teammates? And gives allies and enemies burn. Okay, so it burns both, but does that mean you hit your allies for 700%? Kaz, can we confirm? Can we confirm? Is that... Are we just going to kill our allies too? Okay, anyways, I'll keep reading. And enemies burn for 3 turns. Furthermore, stuns everyone on the battlefield for 1 turn. I'm assuming that's everyone. One-time use. Revives Nagant with 10% HP. This is the revive I was talking about, though. That's kind of cool. And gives her 2 last stands. Okay, that is a one-time use. Glad you put a time, like a thing on that, because we don't want her to just do this over and over again and wipe teams. And then gets the 2 last stands. Honestly, I like that part. I don't know how I feel about that. That is AoE. Kaz, I need to know. I need to know, Kaz. Is this everyone on the field, or is this just the enemy team? That's the question. That is the question. I'm not moving on until I find out. Kaz, you better put it in the chat. Is this the whole field, or is this just the enemy that is getting hit by this? 200%. 200% would be more fair considering it's not a plus ultra instead of 700%. Allies included. So she's hitting your, she's okay. Okay. So what you're telling me is you created this skill on a PUR. This is like Kaminari level of ridiculous, right? You're just going to wipe. You may wipe the enemy team. You'll fully wipe the enemy team. But you're also going to fully wipe your team. And then Nagant is literally the last one standing because she revives. That's it. Game, set, match. That's what you've done here. You've made a nuke. You turned this sniper into a literal nuke. That's crazy. That's actually insane. All right. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you putting all the symbols in too. That was cool to read with the symbols. Thank you guys for all the art, all the effort put into these kits. I truly did enjoy reading through these. And like I said in the Discord, I would love to make this, you know, a continual thing. If you guys enjoy it, if you guys are willing to watch, if you guys want to see kits like this, and we don't always have to do a live stream, but we can if you guys enjoy the live stream. We can do videos too, either which way. And we'll switch up the characters, you know. Maybe we'll do original characters one of these times. I know people want that, so that'd be an idea. But let's talk about voting now. And let's talk about who's going to win and what they win. Okay? So, rewards. I posted this in the Discord. I'm reading it straight from the Discord. But the winner will get to have one sticker and one emoji of their choosing. I will message whichever user that is after we're done with the live stream here. And they'll be able to add it to this Discord for everyone to use. The one stipulation is it does have to be, you know, anime-esque related, I guess, related to the theme of the server. And they will obtain a special role for winners of this contest. So if we continue doing this contest, anyone who wins this contest will get their own special role in the Discord in addition to whatever roles they already have. And then if you guys like this, we'll continue doing this. Does that sound like a fair prize to everybody? You guys okay with that? No, Masters is not as broken as I thought it was now. You're a bit more clear, Mast. I'll give you that. Okay. All right. So now to figure out how to do the voting. This is part, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't think through all that much. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so I can just see how many. Let me count how many we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we have 12 people. Let's make some, I'm gonna do some polls here in the chat, and we're gonna do 3 times 4, so we're gonna do 3 polls. Okay, and then we'll take the winner of each of those 3 polls, we'll put them into 1 poll at the end, so it'll be top 3. All right, so I'm just going to go in order. I'm sorry if that messes up your chances here, but okay. Let me create the poll real quick. All right, we got Duckage in 1 slot. Infinite 2.0. Kaido. And Elaine. All right, first poll is coming up. Vote for the one that you like the best for the kits. And then we'll do the next 4. All right, so far Duckage is in the lead with 50%. Okay, 43%. Give you guys about another 30 seconds or more to vote if you need on this one. I only have 10 votes so far, 24 people here, so make sure you're voting if you want to vote for a winner of this bracket, these first four. I'll scroll back through them so you can see them real quick. We have Elaine, we have this Nagant, we have Kaido with the character-specific targeting vigilante Deku Nagant. We have this Nagant, Lovely Assassin, the broken one by Infinite. We have the first explosion Nagant from Duckage. Those are the four in this bracket. Okay. I'm going to end the poll now. All right, and we're going to put in the next people. Okay, next poll is going up. Please choose one of those people for your top person from that bracket. Alex Shinigami had the, of course, photoshopped artwork with all his kit. We had Mr. Zombie's villain Lady Nagant. We also had the assassin Lady Nagant from Super Sun, pre-villain. And then we had masked, DX'd, fully DX'd, level 130 Lady Nagant, who I originally thought was a little broken, but not anything as broken as some of the others we saw. Please make sure you guys are voting if you are watching and just, make it more fair for everyone. Let people know which kit you like the best. I understand if you're, some of these people might have gone back in the stream and watched other parts, but that's fine. Right now we have a tie between Mast and Alex. We need one more person to break the tie, or I guess we can have two people from this bracket move on. You know what? We're going to call it there. We're going to have two people move on. We're going to end that poll. All right, now we're going to add the next poll. Give me 1 second here. This will be the last one before the final. All right, and the last poll before the final is up. All right, so going over these, Draco had the interestingly, kit of 9 turns on this right here, 9-turn cooldown. Stealth counter gives her the ability to counter and stuff. It looks like you've changed it since I originally read it to make it a little less OP, but it was a little too OP at the time when we went over it originally. Mia had the original artwork here and a fairly decent balanced kit overall. I like the idea of including like specific characters like Midoriya on the team. Barry also had a broken kit. I'm not going to make the mistake of saying your full name again, but the another explosion kit at 550% damage. And then Kaz was balanced, really balanced up until this point right here where he just decides to nuke the whole field. So that was the thing. Yeah. And once again, when you guys vote, you're voting for artwork, you're voting for overpoweredness, you're voting for balancedness, you're voting for whatever you like the best, whichever kit you like the best, whichever one you found the most entertaining, take all that into account. All right, we're going to end that poll there at 13 votes, 54% for Kaz. So Kaz does win that one. And now we have our top four contestants, top 4 people for creating the best kit for Lady Nagant. So let me put them in a poll real quick and we'll see who wins. Even if your kit did not win and did not get into the top 4, I just want everyone to know I appreciate every single one of these kits. I really, really do. Without you guys, I wouldn't have content. We wouldn't have this community that we have. So thank you. Final poll is up. Who is the winner, guys? Who is the winner? I'll go over all these kits really quickly, skim them for you if you want to know what they do before we do our final vote. So Duckage had the original Exploder Lady Nagant. Then we had Mast, who is a interesting character who gains different effects if Hawks is on the team, gains different effects if All For One is on the team. He increases skill impact for all opponent here or all when he's going against hero opponents, stuff like that. So targeted abilities, which is interesting. Had technical hits, had status elements, probably one of the more balanced kits in the end. Had ecstatic. So if you're voting for balance, this might be the one for you. Then we had Alex, who of course put in all this work with the photo and making it look like it's actually on the Ultra Impact website. Did all the artwork for it and everything for the action skills. Looked really, really good. I was very impressed by that. And then lastly, we had Kaz, who just decided to nuke the battlefield. It was balanced up until that point, and then he just wanted to see Lady Nagant go kaboom. And as this is the final vote, I'll give you guys a little bit more time. It's actually surprisingly close between these. We have 18 votes this time. All right, out of the 19 people here, okay? So, yeah. I think that pretty much sums up who our winner is going to be. It was going back and forth there for a minute. That means in first place. Let's end this poll so you guys can see. It'll go into the chat. In first place, we have Alex. In second, we have Kaz. In third, we have Duckage. And in fourth, we have Mast. So there you go, guys. Hey, fourth place is still good. Third place is still good. You guys all did great, though. I can't stress that enough. This was a lot of fun for me. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the Discord, in the comments, however you guys want to let me know. Right here in the chat, I don't care. And we'll do more of these if you guys want to do more of them. But that is completely reliant on you guys. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did. My voice is gone. I've had a long day. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And as for the winner, Alex, I will be messaging you here in a little bit on Discord and hopefully getting your ideas for a sticker for the Discord. So you'll get to choose a Discord specific sticker. Yes, Kareem, question. If anyone else has questions, I'm not going to go just yet. I was just kind of giving you guys a thank you for everything. But if anyone has questions about anything, you have questions about the anniversary, questions about the game, questions about anything in the game at all, let's talk about it. So Kareem, Odro is absolutely 100%. I think most people in this chat could probably tell you, not worth the pull. Do not pull on Ojiro if you can help it. Of course, I'll probably be doing some polls because I have to. I've done a video every time a character's ever come out, whether I pull them or not, So I'm going to continue doing that. If I could, I would save, but I'm not going to. But you should definitely save. Definitely. Everybody should be passing on Ojiro. He's a general pool unit. You'll be able to summon him during the anniversary. Like, for 100%, skip Ojiro. Make a bad kit and ask people to fix it. That would be interesting, actually, to see what people come up with. They have to build off my bad kit. Okay, that's a good idea, Duck. Put that in the video suggestions, Duckage. That way I don't forget that in the Discord. Mask, can I come over to your new house? Hey, if I can get in by the 4th of July, I don't care. Shoot, we actually closed on the house for anyone that... I'm in the process of buying a house for anyone that doesn't know, and so I haven't been able to spend as much money on summons as I would like. We just closed on the house a few days ago, and there is some renovation stuff that needs to be done because obviously, like, houses are super expensive right now. I make decent money, but not enough, So I bought a house that's a bit of a fixer-upper. Got to fix up some stuff. So it's going to be... We're actually renting an apartment right now. And I got 2 months left on this apartment rent. So while I have the 2 months of having my stuff here and I'm still able to record and stuff, I'm going to fix up the house before I move into it. That's a good idea, Operation. Put that in the... That's a really good idea, Operation. Either message me or put that in the video suggestions in Discord for Alex making the poll. If Alex would be interested, if the winner would be interested in like picking the next character or the next 4 like options for a character, I will. That's actually a really good idea for a reward. I like that. Yeah, so definitely put that in the Discord. Would I summon for the Nagant you made? I'd probably summon for any of the Nagants you made, even if they were garbage. Not gonna lie to you, just because Nagant's mommy, but like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the housing market absolutely sucks right now, Mast. For sure. Operation, do I have a girlfriend? Yes, I do. I do. Right. Well, they would just... I think Alex could still compete, but if, like, let's say he won again, Duckage, then we would just give it to the second place person, essentially. Because we don't want to bar people from competing. Kaz, yeah. He probably is going to pick Ojiro after seeing him simp so hard in the chat forum. You know what? Right now, let's we'll do this on stream. We'll go ahead and we'll message Alex. All right, where Alex, where are you? There we go. I'll send you a wave first. There we go. What do you mean I don't share a server? Alex. Alex. There we go. Okay, so we're definitely gonna get some artwork for whoever Alex picks. That's nice. Let's go. Well, just remember, Alex has to give me 4 characters, and so we're gonna put that poll on YouTube, and we're gonna let you guys. Everyone's gonna be able to choose, you know, which of the 4 they want to do. Yeah, Alex, you can do it whenever you want. You don't have to do it on stream right now. Yep, whenever you're able. So Alex is going to be the one. I'm going to actually get rid of the message here, so in case he does say it. I don't want you guys to know just yet. A little bit of mystery is good in life, right? So. Yeah, I really didn't think Operation that Vigilante Deku was going to come out when he did. I'm not gonna lie, I was pleasantly surprised. It's so weird that he came out when he did, but yet we still don't have other characters from season 6. But at least they capitalized on that hype. I mean, they definitely capitalized on that hype. Considering that video got 100,000 views for me, which was ridiculous. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea how the algorithm works, and I wish I could accomplish that again. Duckage. He's not. I'll make him. He can't do Ojiro, Fantasy Ojiro, Steampunk Ojiro, and Old Ojiro. He's gonna have to give us some different characters. He's gonna have to give us something else. He could definitely. If we're gonna let Alex pick, he can definitely choose to have a custom original character if he wants. He can put that as an option. Ojiro, the #1 hero. Yeah, absolutely. Gender swap Odra. Ay, ay, ay. All right, well, now we're just digressing. Okay, we're gonna call it there, guys. Like I said, am losing my voice. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making the kits. Anyone who made a kit and participated, thank you for the artwork. Thank you guys for everything. Really, I genuinely do mean it. I know I say it in the videos, and maybe it doesn't mean as much in the videos, but since it's a live stream right now, thank you guys for the support. Thank you for being in the Discord. Thank you for the kits. Thank you for everything. I really do appreciate everyone. Thank you guys. Good night, everybody.